Hello there, Internet Bloodieknux here, aka the Mad Dragon of Lv1 Gaming, back with another review for you guys. And I got to say, I am here on behalf of Akumu. For those who aren't aware, she has been sick, but she did a wonderful review, and of course I have to step in to be her voice as always here. And let me tell you, what would you do in a world where the sun didn't shine and the dead walked among us? Will we just hide ourselves away to survive, or will we try to take it all back and get rid of all the zombies? Well, in Gloomy Eyes, we get to see just that. In this game here, we follow the story of Nina and Gloomy, an unlikely pair of friends from two vastly different worlds, as they come together on one unexpected adventure. And that's what we're going to talk about today here in our Gloomy Eyes review. So, if you want to know if this little adventure is adorable and cute enough just for you to spend your time with, or if it's just another nightmare to skip, watch ahead at your own discretion, and be know that there will be spoilers ahead. Now let's start with the story. So, imagine playing a game as if it was written by Tim Burton, a dark and spooky, yet adorably cute game that all came together in one beautiful, well done little package. Well, in Gloomy Eyes, you get just that. It tells the game of a young zombie named Gloomy, a very unique zombie who has come back in a world where the sun has completely left, never to rise and shine again. However, amongst all the zombies, he's very unique, as his eyes shine that of the sun itself, bright, pale yellow eyes. And all he wants to do is just to have fun. He wants to exist. He wants to break things and play with the other children. But they're all scared of him. The humans hunt him. However, everything seems to change when he met Nina. Nina had heard stories of the young zombie boy, mainly from her deranged uncle, that had come to be simply known as the priest, leading a cult of humans that were hell-bent on hunting down all the zombies that have taken over the world. However, despite all of this, she had dreams of wanting to meet the young zombie boy. She missed the sun that had once shone so brightly up in the sky. However, she heard the stories of his bright yellow eyes, and she wants to find him and to help return the sun. So with that, she breaks out of her home where she had been locked away by her uncle. And when she does here, what follows is an adventure of a very unique adventure of friendship, loss, and self-discovery. Gloomy realizes he doesn't want to hurt humans after he meets Nina. He felt happy. He felt cared for. And all he wanted to do was protect her. And she realized that she always wanted him by her side. This tale of a loving friendship, despite being from two different worlds, is absolutely heartwarming, as it can also be heartbreaking at times. That's not to mention that the game is entirely told from the story of these two. It's actually told from the perspective of an outside party, a storyteller, if you will. And that's none other than the gravekeeper that you see throughout the game. He's aware of everything that's happening and wants nothing more than the happiness of these two, and knows their parts to play in the story, and how much he despises the priest himself. Overall, all of these little themes come together to create a beautiful drama, like the story of the Corpse Bride, except, role flipped, or reversed, however you want to put it. All this, it makes the story really that much more memorable for such a package that it is. Next up for the audio. Now, music, ambiance, as well as well done at voice acting are all integral parts of any game. Well, in Gloomy Eyes, the sound design for the game is actually very well done. It is shown to be just crafted with so much love and so much care, from the soft, comforting tones of the gravekeeper and the way that he speaks to the children, as well as the way he narrates their story, to the background music of each level. Each one is very different, and adds to the warmth and tenderness that is the game. Especially when we look at the Gravekeeper acting as the narrator. He speaks from a very biased perspective, but the way he speaks throughout the story is that you can tell that Gloomy and Nina are very cared for when he talks about them. He talks about them in a very soft voice and a very soft, comforting tone, especially when he runs into them and speaks to them directly. However, when he talks about the priest and his cult and everything else going on, he speaks with indifference, almost spiteful, vitriolic. It's really very contrasting to see the difference in the way that this character tells a tale. And then when you look at the music, a lot of it is very soulful, calming, somber music, and the fact that it really helps to create a certain level of tenderness and ambiance that's just absolutely wonderful. There's a few times where they try to make it a little bit more upbeat and a little creepy, but overall it has a really playful, spooky sound to it, which is weird to say, but sometimes that's what you need. Along with that, it all just adds to a very unique charm and mood that the game really goes out of its way to set. Now, the game isn't perfect by any means, especially with the audio. There was a lot of times that I did notice that there were some audio desync. Not a lot, but enough to be discernible and noticeable at certain times. Whether that's from the way that the music looped to the fact of there was times that certain audio cues that while you're trying to work around or solve some of the puzzles, you notice that the audio wasn't syncing up properly. Now for the visuals. The look of Gloomy Eyes is simply the easiest thing to describe. It truly is Tim Burton-esque. I was like, that very unique style of claymation is so easily recognized that you can see the inspiration on where the designs came for these characters, both in its creepy appeal. However, it's also just beautiful because it's able to match that, especially with the fact that it is done to a near perfect replica. Also add in the fact that there's a lot of brighter colors, and along with the muted tones, it helps to create this very polarizing idea of the characters, whether that's the more muted and dark blues and grays of the zombie world to the bright yellows and lighter colors that represent the humans and more. It all just comes together to create such a pretty package that it's hard to not enjoy the very look of the game. And lastly, we have the gameplay. Now, the gameplay of Gloomy Eyes is both engaging, but also very basic. To be fair, that's all it needs to be. It's a very simple puzzle platformer. However, the game plays almost like a co-op game. You have two characters that you're having to control between both Nina and Gloomy, who both complement each other and are able to do different things. Gloomy, being the undead zombie that he is, he has superhuman capabilities. He's very strong and able to pick up items that Nina couldn't be able to, let alone be able to throw items at things that she wouldn't be able to hit, let alone to be able to turn. However, he isn't able to really think or be able to articulate himself, so he can't use certain items, whereas Nina's able to steal items and be able to manipulate machinery using her posable fingers, as well as other things such as being able to use those machines by pushing buttons and stuff like that. Both of these are able to give these characters very unique approaches to puzzles. While they're both being hunted by cultists, Nina's being hunted by the zombies. However, Gloomy is not. So because of that, Gloomy's able to go into places where she may not be able to go and to grab items she can't. All of this together allows the duo to maneuver very unique ways with each other to solve these puzzles for any... Both of these characters end up coming together to be able to solve puzzles in a very creative manner by having both of their strengths play out as they travel across these different lands. And it really allows the game to shine on both of these characters having an importance to the story. It makes it very fun and entertaining while having some moments where it can be a little challenging and you really got to think about this. Despite all of this, there were a lot of bugs that we ran into during the game, whether that was certain characters glitching into certain parts of the environment to where they would get stuck and wouldn't be able to move and having to constantly reload, as well as to other moments of characters dying in ways that didn't make sense when they weren't even doing anything that should have gotten them killed. Now, it doesn't mean that there was major setbacks, as the checkpoints throughout the game are very generous, but it was more annoying than anything else. Hopefully there have been improvements to that, but that is just something to be aware of, that there are some hit detection and collision issues. Overall, my time with Gloomy Eyes was a good one, especially because the game is very accessible, and as well as it's not very long. With only about 14 chapters, it's no more than about 10 to 15 minutes a chapter. You get a couple hours experience, anywhere from 3 to 5 depending on your level of experience. Overall, if you really enjoy cute puzzle games, this is worth your time. And we want to thank the team for providing the key here for our Gloomy Eyes review. So if you do want to check it out, it is currently available on Xbox platforms, on Nintendo Switch, on the PS5, and of course on Steam. So let us know. Did you enjoy our Gloomy Eyes review? Have you had a chance to check out this creepy little game? Are you even into puzzles? Leave a comment down below and make sure you go and check out our website over at lv1gaming.com to see all of our other news, reviews, and previews. Now, with that being said, I'm Bloodieknux here, and I hope you'll have a wonderful rest of y'all's evening, morning, afternoon, day, night. And remember, you can always get your start here at level 1. Until next time, guys, peace out, and check you later.